Summer's Game Fest 2024. Was it good? Was it bad? Let's find out.
Well, that was Summer Games Fest 2024, and between this and last year's Game Awards, Jeff Keighley is on a pretty horrible streak in my
Could not care less about Jeff Keighley.
opinion, with his team, between bad reveals and honestly just bad optics when you look at what happened with Game Awards last year and shoving devs off the stage. I felt there was a bit of a redemption with this year's.
Oh man, that was good. That was really good. Keep it quick. 5 minutes. Get off the stage. We need to show ads.
Summer Games Fest, the Indie Spotlight was fantastic. I love seeing a lot of smaller games here. I think that's really good for the industry. And Jeff spotlighted as much, showing how 8 of the 10 best-selling games right now on Steam are smaller games, showcasing to publishers out there that these experimental ideas can do really well for our industry. And the proof is in the pudding. Money is being made with these smaller games. I think it was absolutely fantastic he showcased that. Especially in a year of studio closures, it was really nice to see some publishers step up in a big way, in new ways, whether it was Blumhouse Games with a ton of brand new horror games, or Outer Sloth revealing their new publishing initiative. These are some of the best parts of the showcase because it's good for the health of the industry.
Sounds like a bunch of stuff I don't care about. If Bethesda just shuts down tomorrow, someone's gonna replace them instantaneously. The vacuum's gonna be filled in less than a day, probably, honestly. Someone's gonna buy Elder Scrolls, someone's gonna buy Fallout. Well, technically Microsoft gets all of that, but you know, for the sake of conversation, it doesn't matter. If someone shuts down, that instantaneously gonna be filled in by someone.
Industry. I also say this as an indie game developer, that it's really nice to see, like, hey, we're trying to get ready to pitch within the next couple of months or so, and I'm looking around and seeing how everyone's shutting down and eliminating costs and spending opportunities. I'm like, is anyone going to want to spend on this? But seeing more places prop up to help indie devs out.
Well, technically, they're not really cutting down that kind of spending. They're just trimming away the fat, because let's face it, probably 90% of all developers, as in any company, 90% of the workers are incompetent buffoons. People constantly talk about management being trash, but if you ever get into management position and you get to see and govern over how people actually work, you instantaneously find out that it's kind of rare that the majority of your workforce is actually more capable than slop. It's just the reality of things. And we never talk about it because most of us are not management. We're just the average people who think they're doing a good job, but, well, in the reality, we kind of aren't.
Just is amazing to see. So that was definitely, to me, the good. That was like the best part of the show, non-games wise. The bad, well, I do unfortunately have a lot to say about that, and we'll get into all of it after a quick word from today's sponsor. The following video is brought to you by Once Human. I consider myself a bit of a post-apocalyptic game connoisseur. You can earn exclusive in-game rewards.
Adios.
I saw Lego after a PlayStation logo, and I saw Guerrilla Games. I think we can all agree, everyone would have said, what is this? What is going on here? What was kind of surprising about Lego Horizon...
I'm sorry, Lego Horizon Zero Dawn, and this is not a plus size Lego model. That's just not woke enough. And this is unironically better looking than the original one, which is just goddamn disgustingly ugly. So how is this even gonna work?
Adventures it was the opposite of what I was expecting. We've seen Lego games go more and more in an open world direction, and Horizon being an open world game series, I thought, well, okay, they're just going to do another entry, but it's going to be open world. Okay, cool. That sounds kind of fun to me. I love the Lego games. Guilty pleasure of mine. Sue me. But this looks more like the older Lego games. They looked...
Never played the Lego game in my life.
More linear, and it's going mostly everywhere except Xbox consoles, but you can find it on Switch, which was a big surprise to me, Steam, PlayStation. It's due out holiday this year. I said this a bit about Astro...
Looks kind of fun, though. Not gonna lie. Looks decent.
Astrobot, so I'm going to try to keep it quick to not sound too redundant, but I do like that PlayStation is focusing on more younger audience friendly titles that can also appeal to adults. I'm talking about like Astrobot, as I mentioned earlier, but also Lego Horizon Adventures. Like, this looks pretty cool to me. Not what I was expecting, but not in a bad way. I missed the kind of traditional Lego experience that wasn't open world. I like that they're kind of slim in the focus here. I think it leaves a lot of room for surprises. And so I'm keen to check this one out. But overall, felt the wind got taken out of the sails with this reveal. Afterwards, we got to lay eyes on No More Room in Hell 2, which is entering early access in Halloween of 2024. Apparently, this was a Source Engine mod in the first entry that became super popular. Now they're making a second entry here. I think it looks all right, but the thing that I noticed with this showcase, the biggest problem I really had with it was, number one, a lot of trailers with no gameplay. And when you looked at a report from Esquire that spotlighted how much money was being spent on Summer Games Fest, which were figures that were kind of surprising in number, but as you start to think about how much viewership and attention Summer Games Fest and the Game Awards draw, it makes a lot of sense why people are ponying up to be on these stages. But then you start to realize how much
this looks interesting.
Much time some of these teams waste between early access reveals, which
will it succeed though, because this looks like another zombie shooter, but zombie games aren't always like super popular.
Sometimes can be a good thing. We're seeing a little bit of a corner being turned on early access. I think of things like Hades 2, which is a bigger, better game apparently than Hades 1 already, and Hades 2 is in early access. Like, we have these moments where early access isn't really a death sign for me. I'm just always like, if I see early access, I'll catch you at the 1.0 launch then. There was a lot of early access here, and there was a lot of trailers without any gameplay, revealing basically nothing at all. And so for me, early access is...
Well, after Starfield revealed literally 5 seconds of its gameplay, people were instantaneously turned off. So it's understandable. It's understandable that a lot of companies are afraid to show gameplay.
Maybe different for you, but keep in mind for me, it's kind
Which is super bad still, but you know.
Of a brain switch off moment. So if I sound a little lukewarm on something you're excited about, that's probably why. Afterwards, we got Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. It's coming out September 3rd to all systems. It's day one on PlayStation Plus. I played a little...
Oh boy, someone is really interested in making this win. Okay, what, can we see a little bit more of this trailer? Okay, let's see. So the start is like this.
Harry Potter Quidditch.
Okay, that's the snitch if I remember correctly. This looks like a failure already, not gonna lie.
Champions. It's coming out September 3rd to all systems. It's day one on PlayStation.
What do we have here? A lot of diversity. I like it.
Plus,
a lot more diversity. I like it even more.
Played a little bit of...
Hell yeah.
Of Harry Potter Quidditch.
Okay. A lot of girls in a man's sport. I like it.
World Cup on the PS2, the GameCube, and all that stuff.
Oh yeah. That's exactly what I want in my Quidditch team. I don't like Quidditch in general. I think it's dumb. Well, playing it would be probably super fun in real life, but yeah, this is not selling me a lot here, not gonna lie.
And yeah, it was an all right game. It was very much cool in presentation. I love the idea of like there being teams all around the world, but this game, perfect example, like very little gameplay at all. When they started to show the gameplay, I went, oof.
You know, the character designs is as close as to woke as you can get, but honestly, I don't think it matters. This is probably not gonna succeed because a Quidditch game is just, man, that shit sounds boring.
Oh boy.
Well,
so
actually yawning.
September 3rd, it's already kind of making sense why they're pre-announcing it as a day one PS Plus title. I'll be interested in seeing.
I wonder how successful can it even be, because no one except Harry Potter fans and pretty dedicated Harry Potter fans want an actual Quidditch game. But again, the Harry Potter brand it's huge. Again, J.K. Rowling, literally a billionaire, wrote a fucking book. Okay, that shit is arguably bigger than Star Wars, especially considering how much Star Wars is killing itself at this point. I would not be surprised if the Star Wars brand is actually less profitable at this point and smaller fan size-wise than Harry Potter. Because Harry Potter hasn't destroyed itself that much. They had, like, the Beasts movies that were... I saw the first one, but then I didn't care. So yeah, I wondered how much this can be carried just by the brand of Harry Potter.
What it's all about, but my expectations are very low, and I guess now we understand why there was no Quidditch in Hogwarts Legacy. Continuing on after this, we got Cuffbust, which I thought was a really, really good trailer. This is from the creator of Choo Choo Charles, and it's his next
Oh, hell yeah. Picking up the soap in prison. Now that's a game.
solo project. He says it's coming 2025. Maybe, I don't know, to be honest. Yes, that's
Not even a shank? What the hell?
literally what it says at the end of the trailer. And I thought this one was actually really fun spirited. Like the idea of just like breaking out of jail and just how ridiculous it was. The FOV was pretty bad. I will just say that up front, that I feel everything was super close and in your face, and it made the trailer a little chaotic in the bad.
This game could succeed if people on Twitch and whatnot start playing it. This looks like that type of party game. It looks very heavily inspired by... I forgot the name, but the one where, you know, you're in a team of 4 and you know there's, you know, SCP's pretty much after you. I forgot what it's called. You guys know the one I'm talking about. The one where you have a flashlight, blah blah blah, and monsters go after you.
Way, and I don't think it would be particularly fun to play. Looked a little rough around the edges, saying it may be coming in 2025. I'm not too sure. Makes a lot of sense then. This is probably a ways off, like end of 2025, may even bump into 2026. We'll see. But I thought this was a really fun one. Afterwards, we saw a little bit more of Star Wars Outlaws, where there's a new gameplay reveal coming June 10th at the Ubisoft Forward.
Oh boy, I can't wait for a gameplay reveal of our brave woman of color protagonist beating people up and, you know, doing a bunch of remember Han Solo? It's Jabba the Hutt. This is gonna be a disaster. Admittedly, everything Ubisoft touches turns to shit. Everything Bethesda touches turns to shit. So, you know, not really breaking new shit grounds, but still.
This is the other thing that I had kind of a problem with Summer Games Fest, is it feels like this is becoming a trampoline that everyone's springboarding off of to go promote their other stuff. Like, hey, we're doing this. Here's a sneak peek. You want more? Go.
God, this game is going to make so little sense. It's going to be insane. We watched the trailer. So, you're the most known criminal in the Outer Rim, but then again, you're not really known. The guy who tries to kill you, you need to rob him so he doesn't try to kill you. You are an outlaw. No one cares about you, but you're not magically free to go do other things. This game just makes no fucking sense at any point. And nothing that I have seen about this Star Wars disaster. Well, it's better than the Acolyte, probably, that's for sure. But then again, you don't need to pay to watch the Acolyte. Wink, wink. I don't. But this, you need to pay to play this garbage. So. Is it worse or is it better? I don't know, but this is gonna be crap no matter what.
Go check it out over here. And I'm like, no, I'm here and my time is precious. Like, if
also, raise your hand if you are absolutely tired of everything Star Wars having a baby Yoda. Because I am. Every single character has a baby Yoda. It's boring. It's dull. It's uninspired. There's zero inspiration in that. Baby Yoda was cool. Everyone liked it. Then they named it Grog or something like that, which is dumb. His real name is Baby Yoda. And, you know, now everyone has a Baby Yoda, which is dumb. Again, zero creativity. The moment Disney sees something even remotely working and people don't call it crap instantaneously, they're like, oh my god, we just struggled. Now let's copy and paste it into everything we do for the next 5 years. What a failure.
If you're going to do it here, then just do it now, right? Like, I'm not going to go out of my way and seek things out like that. Now, it's a little bit different with something big like Star Wars Outlaws, and for me as a Star Wars simp.
My favorite part, by the way, about the Star Wars thing is this is going to be like your companion or something. So this is some kind of super battle droid or whatever the fuck. And it's really powerful. It literally can hit people limb from limb without any problems. And then, obviously, you as a diverse woman of color character, you are being hunted down by another diverse woman of color. And she is supposed to be like the best bounty hunter ever or some crap like that. And you know what she does? She goes, you can see it in the trailer. She's like one-on-one with this guy, and she's like, it's a robot. I have no force powers. I have no weapon. What will I do? I know, I will try to punch it. And then the robot just takes her hand and pushes her back. He should have taken her hand, ripped it off, and beat her until she's no longer dead with her own hand. That's what should have happened. But again, it's not like people who make this crap even care about the fact that you can't really beat up a robot with your flesh hands. It doesn't really work most of the time.
Now, it's a little bit different with something big like Star Wars Outlaws, and for me as a Star Wars simp, like, okay, I'll go check it out. But I'm just saying that I noticed this with a lot of other developers and publishers of, hey, here's a little tease and full gameplay reveal in Gamescom. I'm like, okay, all right then. Nonetheless, I think Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh yeah, that summarizes the game perfectly.
All right then. Nonetheless,
bam, beautiful. Yeah, I'm sure that hurt my dude. He's probably passed out from the disappointment that he got hit by her. I understand.
I think Star Wars Outlaws looks really good. I know pricing issues aside, all that stuff. Like, I think this game, as a huge Star Wars fan, looks really, really good. I think Massive Entertainment developers.
And that's when you reveal that you're not a Star Wars fan.
Of Division are very talented. I like Division 1. I like Division 2 quite a bit. So I'm game for this
one. Division crash and burn.
One. Very excited for when it comes out in August. Then we saw, I don't remember how it was pronounced. I'm looking at my notes here. It's Neva. I don't know if it's Neva or Neva.
Oh, okay. I think we're honestly skipping this.
7, which, look, I quit Civilization with 5.
Oh, Civilization. I saw the trailer yesterday. The trailer doesn't show anything, but it is Civilization. Civilization 5 is still like the holy grail. Or was it 6? No, yeah, it was 5. It was 5. 6 had good intentions and whatnot, but they didn't really work out that well. And, well, they build upon this, so 7 should be better than 6. And 6 wasn't bad. You know, it wasn't the best. I still play Civ 5, obviously, because it's the best. But Civ 7 could be exciting. It's definitely going to be at least worth something.
I always tell this story. Played a little bit of Civ 5, and all of a sudden, 19 hours of my life deleted like that. Never played it again. I'm also holding off for Aura History Untold, that kind of mixture between what Civilization.
The first time I played Civilization was obviously 5, and it was against my friend. And I was like, okay, well, which victory condition I'm going to go for? The religion. That's right, I'm going to go for the religion victory. Yeah, there's no religion victory as it turns out, but I did convert the whole fucking world into my religion, literally yeeted and deleted everything, was pumping out 4 missionaries a turn, and I had, I don't know how many holy sites, 1 million. I had a lot of them, okay? I was making forward bases just to buy missionaries per turn faster. It was great. Didn't win though, because again, religion victory doesn't exist. They really should have one. Because if you can have a culture victory, why wouldn't you have a religion victory? And after religion victory, culture victory is my second favorite one. It's cool.
Does, as well as Age of Empires, like an RTS style gameplay, really speaks to me. That game looks like an amazing time sink. I'm also looking at Frostpunk, so I kind of have some of my
Frostpunk, I'm buying that shit instantly, okay? Currently, the best city survival builder is Against the Storm. I have like $300 or $400 into that bad boy, Prestige 20. But I don't like it that you know, in actuality, you're supposed to micromanage everything and whatnot, but I don't like that part. So I'm looking for something that, you know, you make the decisions what you want to do and it stays like that, and you don't need to micromanage every little aspect what every individual worker does. And that's gonna be Frostpunk too. It's gonna be great. I'm buying that instantaneously.
PC Civ style games picked out, so I'm just gonna focus on those. But Civ 7, I'll keep an eye on it. It's coming out in 2025 with gameplay in August. Again, what I mean by, like, why reveal this here if we're gonna get gameplay later?
So what are we looking forward, by the way, in Civ 7 port changes? Probably how building stuff works. Probably how districts works, to rework a little bit of that stuff. And probably reworking how civics work. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to mostly. But for each their own, you know. Civilization is one of those games where, okay, someone doesn't like this aspect, someone doesn't like this, and, it kind of depends on each and every one very, very individually.
I don't know. There must be metrics.
So, technically, no wrong answers, boys. Leave in the comments what are you looking for in Civilization 7. What are the prime reworks and maybe things that you want them to add? I want them to add actual, like, sabotage. I want them to add a little bit more of that political oomph, that you can literally politically force your opponents into shitty situations and, sabotage them with, like, spies and whatnot.
Behind it, I'm completely oblivious to.
Literally, I want the ability to plant dirty bombs in my opponent's cities. That's what I want. That would be amazing.
Afterwards, we got what I thought was a really strange trailer for Black Myth Wukong. This game's coming out August 20th, and we also learned afterwards that it's coming to Xbox at a later date, which is really frustrating, I think, especially because I know Xbox is trying to invest in Chinese developers, so I'm really surprised to hear about that, but I find it extremely disappointing. But nonetheless, when it comes to Black Myth Wukong, it was more of a CG trailer for a game coming out in 2 months, which we've already seen a lot of gameplay for it, but I do think it would have been a good idea to just remind people, like...
I forgot about this, but I think it's okay. Again, I haven't seen it in a while, but it was exciting when it got announced.
Hey, look how cool this game looks, and it's coming out...
And I'm sure the Chinese market is so excited that Westerners are again pushing Wukong in that direction, because that's pretty much the only mythological thing China has. Yay, it's a monkey. Woo!
Very soon, but instead they showed CG and then went, hey, you can pre-order like the deluxe edition, the collector's edition, and so maybe I'm nitpicking here at this point, but again, it just shows to me, like, how much money did y'all spend to be here, and this is what you chose to do? Just, hey, look at this CG trailer, and by the way, give us your money. It's like, you got to remind us what we're spending our money on at the end of the day. Come on now. Afterwards, we saw Metaphor ReFantazio, the developers of Atlas, hit the stage. We got Katsura Hashino on the stage, just talking about the game, talking about the archetypes. This is a brand new trailer with a release date showing of August 11th, which we already knew. You've already heard me wax poetic about this game. It looks beautiful. It's Atlas basically saying, like, oh, Fire Emblem, you want to copy our flow here? Ooh. Okay, watch this then. Okay. And they're going all out, and it's basically a Persona fantasy game. I'm all about it. So,
well, you should have just said Persona, and I'm sold.
I cannot wait for this one. You did not need to sell me any further on it. And it also kind of checks off a little box here. I thought this would be one showing up at the Xbox showcase. So this one, now remove that from the showcase, creates a little room there where the anticipation is really growing for what Xbox is doing this summer. We'll see what happens on Sunday, but let's continue on here. After Metaphor, we got to lay eyes on Batman Arkham Shadow, where the focus is on the Rat King. I think they're bringing back Roger Craig Smith as Batman, which he voiced Batman in Arkham Origins, so I thought that was pretty cool. There's, again, saying gameplay at Gamescom, and it's releasing this fall. I think this is a mistake because I'm actually hearing really cool things behind the scenes about Arkham Shadow. I haven't seen it myself, so I don't know if it's actually going to turn out to look fantastic, but this is one of those games where I feel right now people are looking at Suicide Squad followed up by this and going, oh, of course it's in VR. Now, VR is turning the corner. Like,
well, is this going to be interesting? Probably.
I played Assassin's Creed Nexus.
I'm no fan of Batman, but this does look kind of neat.
Asgard's Wrath 2, like, VR is turning the corner big time, and you should start paying attention. Where something like Batman Arkham Shadow, I don't know if it'll get you to get a VR headset, but I think we're getting...
well, VR is not actually kind of a deal breaker. People have VR. Admittedly, that the fact that it's designed for VR is limiting, obviously. But could be cool. Could be cool.
Past that phase of, like, VR games are gimmicky experiments, like the last Arkham game we got on PSVR 1. It's not that, right? Like, I think we're going to get something bigger. It was a mistake to not show gameplay here at all. Continuing on afterwards, Fatal Fury characters are joining Street Fighter 6. This is really great.
Okay, well, Street Fighter, we know all about that. Also, some Dragon Ball Super something fighting. Hey, it's a fighting game. It's probably going to be either decent or, whatever. If you like it, you like it. There's probably nothing wrong with it. That's completely skippable.
Delta Force Hawk Ops, as well as Delta Force Black Hawk Down. Now, I know Black Hawk Down was a very old FPS. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be educated on the matter. For me, as someone not...
I remember that name, Black Hawk Down, jeez.
Knowing anything about these games at all, I thought these...
But I don't remember it at all.
Like, pretty rough first-person shooters. When it came to Hawk Ops, this is coming out with an alpha test in July, so very soon, but nothing about this looked particularly inspiring that made me want to go pick it up. We saw Fatal Fury one more time.
Oh, nice. Looks like, I mean, it looks like a generic shooter game. Nothing great. Doesn't look super bad, even though the shooting looks kind of scuffed. The smoke, nice. The smoke, nice. The smoke grenades were kind of meh.
Style that it was using here. It's coming out early 2025. This is the first new Fatal Fury game apparently in like over 20 years, so pretty big deal there. We've known about
very cool
video games at that time too, and so to
Power
see
Rangers.
basically a game in that spirit was very exciting. I would love to see like a full-fledged AAA Power Rangers game. I think that would be amazing. But look, to have a callback like this when the series is kind of just hanging around here, like we had Battle for the Grid, which is a really great fighting game, by the way, and that's really it. It's cool to see something come out like this that doesn't feel purely like
I don't know how I feel about Power Rangers. It's like a whatever at this point, honestly. Is this The Witcher?
Cool reveal there. Followed up by Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 coming in 2024. Still no exact release date here. This game, look, I think my very good friend Locke put it perfectly when we did a retrospective for this on Retro Rebound. If you haven't played Kingdom Come Deliverance, it's Skyrim for masochists. So if you love to torture yourself with very hyper-realistic mechanics from the creators of things like Mafia, remember how you like follow the speed limit in Mafia? That type of realism there? Yes. Like,
dude, you had a button in Mafia. At least I didn't play the later Mafia games, but the first ones, man, that was something, okay? You could shoot the gas tank. Well, actually, the thing is, you didn't even shoot the gas tank. You literally just shot where you put the hose in. I don't know what that is supposed to even be called, by the way. And it would blow up in a couple of shots. Man, Mafia was something else, okay? You literally had a button for the speed limit.
Like they got that type of stuff going on here in Kingdom Come Deliverance. Like learning how to read is a thing in the first game. It's awesome. You fall asleep, you might wake up in a completely different spot. You might get ambushed by bandits. The map is beautiful.
Nice.
So there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the first game. To get more of that is excellent. I'm ready for some Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I got my hopes high for this one.
Have not played it, but it does sound kind of good. Not gonna lie. Skyrim, but not Skyrim sounds good.
Absolutely looks stellar. And yeah, just bring it on. Give me that release date. And hopefully it doesn't come out, you know, as much as I liked it, as buggy as the first one. Coming November 8th is Slitterhead. They had a gameplay reveal here, and this is from the creators of Silent Hill. I'm actually just wrapping up my first ever playthrough of
a game where you jump between hosts. Okay.
Silent Hill 3. So when I heard from the creators of Silent Hill, I went, yo, like this is perfect timing. I love Dead Space as my favorite survival horror franchise, but Silent Hill is probably second favorite for me. Just the vibe, the atmosphere. So to know that more is coming from those minds had me excited. And boy, did this gameplay crash me back down to earth. The combat looks terrible. Just unacceptably poor.
Dude, this looks like Gans, but someone decided to make a game. I think there's already is a Gans game. Gans, whatever you're supposed to pronounce it. You know, that one.
For a game coming out in 5 months. Also, I noticed something with the trailers here in this showcase, and I don't know
if wow! That is some absolutely great S tier bad combat right here.
And I don't know if
holy moly!
Out in 5 months.
God, look at this.
Also, I noticed something with the trailers here in this showcase, and I don't know if it's a
that is no, do not buy this crap.
Weird nitpick, but I'm going to point it out anyways. For anyone in the industry watching, you need a little tip. Look, I do a lot of video editing here. Worst thing you can do for your game trailer is not let the game's audio speak for itself as well. As in, if you are just playing the game and having a loud music track blare over it, that does not capture you as much as hearing like the swords clanging, the slashing, the
that's kind of cool, but one cool factor is not going to save a game.
Sound effects, the guns, whatever's happening, the jumping, the ground, the air, the wind. You got to hear the sounds of the game. That's part of the trailer.
Oh man, if this game is actually made good, this could have potential.
Experience. So many of these trailers had,
but nah, this looks just horrible.
Gameplay with the audio deleted and just the music playing, and it was terrible. And this is a perfect example of it. But also just the game didn't look very good. But you know what looked really good was Killer Bean. I knew nothing about this game. What an awesome looking game though. Early access this summer. he was like max
A little bit of that Hitman's slow time.
pain but a bean. Like, this dude's jumping out windows, he's breakdancing, shooting people. This reminds me so much of that game My Friend Pedro, which apparently a lot of people like. I've not played it, but Killer Bean looks like an absolute blast. Afterwards, we laid eyes on Cairn. This is a climbing sim with no release date at all. Again,
Okay.
love to see the indie spotlight here, so I don't want to go too hard, but for me, like, this is just not something I would ever have interest in playing. Like, I will never
It looks cool though.
wake up one day and go, oh man, I'm excited to climb today, or I want to play a game about climbing. And I know that may come across kind of
MFR, why are you training? You're literally climbing a mountain. Getting a couple of push-ups in a tent on altitude is not going to help you.
douchey, but I gotta tell it as it is. That's just not the type of thing that lights my fire. So this didn't really do much for me, especially after other games have come out about climbing like Jusant. Just not for me. So afterwards, we see Wonder Stop. This is from the creators of the Stanley Parable, and it's coming out this year. I thought
Well, no, Stanley, I was going to say this looks like crap because it does, but Stanley Parable, you're telling me? Is there a chance?
this looked really interesting, right? You have this story set up that looks like you're taking care of a town, right? And at the very tail end, she talks about how she was once a warrior, and she starts to spiral and descend into a completely different mindset, like trying to trick herself into enjoying what she's doing. And then someone puts a hand on her shoulder and kind of brings her back down to earth. And for a fully voiced trailer, what they said to her appears only in text. It was very interesting. I don't know. The game has my attention. I
Okay, now I'm gonna like this description you're giving makes it sound like crap.
don't know if it'll be good or bad, but it has my attention. So I'm excited to learn more about Wonder Stop. Afterwards,
Okay, at least she's not ugly. That's a bonus.
we see Unknown 9 Awakening. This is from Bandai. It's coming out fall.
Oh no, I saw it once, 1.5 seconds, and I'm already writing this down as garbage.
This year looks okay. Any game where I can take
looks like garbage. Yep, definitely looks like garbage.
control of someone's body and do crazy things with the environment works well for me. I know that you can do that in Dishonored, so we'll see how free the gameplay is. Really interesting to see
Yeah, everything currently looks here like garbage. The more I see, the less excited I am.
Bandai behind this game. We've seen this one before, but I remember seeing this again and going, oh yeah, Bandai's working.
Classic strong woman of power, a white bad male, good stuff
On
right
this
here,
one. Just
boys.
doesn't seem like their style game because they're always publishing anime games. Afterwards, we had an onslaught of no gameplay. So we see things like Anotria, Last Song. This is coming out September of this year. No gameplay. The Last Descendant coming out July 2nd. No gameplay. At the point of sounding redundant, I just got to say again, what's going on? Why are we spending so much money to be put Sonic X Shadow Generations? This is coming out Sega.
The only Sonic I am interested is the Legend of Sonic 2, okay? The medallions of terror that have already claimed lives in real life, okay? The only Sonic lore that is any even a bit worth of exploring is what have the medallions done and how much havoc they have wreaked on the world. Someone should buy one and give an authentic one to Natalia Yahoo. How did I pronounce his name? Bibby. Just send a fucking Sonic 2 medallion to Bibby. He's probably gonna instantaneously put it on and start yelling, "The power is mine."
In Sega as of late. I really love Shadow.
I am not interested in Sonic at all again. What is this? Dune? No.
Gameplay on the stage as the developers talking about it. Nothing too crazy there. Then we see the finals, season 3. It introduces a new Kyoto map, a new mode,
What is
new
this?
kind of champions that are using swords and deflecting bullets. Looks really cool.
What is this?
This moment here, I know is a big deal
What
for a lot of
game
people. I
is
have not
even
played
that?
Alan Wake 2 yet, but I gotta speak very real about where we are at as an industry.
Alan Wake 2 was not bad, but there were a lot of folk elements that people disliked about it.
When I see people getting on stage, by the way, it wasn't just to announce it.
Oh, no, I am the detective. Oh, really? Well, fuck you, bitch.
When I see it being an on-stage announcement to bring physical games out, we have a problem. We have a problem if physical games are a rated game.
Shut up.
And it seems like a lot of the ideas from that game have made their way into Alan Wake 2. I have to replay Alan Wake 1 and which kind of stunned me. Eternum is releasing on October 15th. Honkai Star Rail.
Wait, what? This looks like New World.
Stunned me. Eternum is releasing on October 15th. Honkai Star Rail got a brand new trailer.
No one cares about the Honkai Star Rail, and if you do, that's sad.
I love the idea of like climbing walls. You know, you can skate anywhere, do anything anywhere.
Oh,
Just continue to roll out like prototype trailer.
Wait, this is VR skate?
After prototype trailer, early access trailer, after early access trailer. This is called pre-alpha gameplay. And don't get me wrong, I love Skate. Skate 1 is one of my favorite games growing up. Like, I love
Tony Hawk Pro Skater all the way, boys.
Skate. I love the idea of like climbing walls. You know, you can skate anywhere. New raid, new arena, faction boss. I mean, this game was wildly successful. So yeah, they're
the Pal World thing, right. This kind of looks exciting.
putting a lot of work.
At least it's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be worthwhile for people to come back to this. I wonder how successful it's going to be, because Pal World's still a good game.
Work into it, and it looked pretty good. I don't know if I'll go back, but cool to see that they're giving a lot of support here. Valorant is getting a console release with a
Valorant, dude, I'm writing Valorant off as hard as possible at this point, boys. Nothing about Valorant is good anymore, okay? Valorant can just go shove itself somewhere for all that I care, honestly. After the announcement that they're gonna get rid of all the toxic players, after some girl on Twitter took a clip out of context how she egged a guy on for content, so he starts flaming her, and then she is the hero. Valorant is already too full of furries and degenerates and whatnot. And, well, now Valorant is going to be even more full of that, because that's the only people that are going to be left. Congratulations, Riot. You literally have killed Valorant with your decision of going after toxic people. Good luck. Have fun.
a limited beta going out for free on June 14th. They had a movie trailer for Inside Out 2. It was also
look at that. It's Yang Ye, everyone's favorite communist.
to see my boy Yang Ye in that movie as a video game character, and I thought he killed it. Yang is a friend of mine, but I just thought that the way they handled this in the movie was awesome.
The last time Yang killed it was never.
And look, I know it's not the platform for it, but I will say trailer was low-key kind of.
What is this?
Trailer for Monster Hunter Wilds.
Monster Hunter Wilds. Yeah, that's going to be good, obviously.
Look fantastic. Surprised at how much we're seeing it, given that, you know, it's more
that it?
Like, okay, cool. But yeah, this game looks amazing still. And so I'm very excited for it. Out of everything that was shown off, it was
another Dark Souls or Sekiro Dark Souls 2.
It's kind of relieving to see that this one, which when we first saw it at the Game Awards, a lot of people went like, is that actually gameplay? And make no mistake, little bit of a step down from the dude shooting one blade diagonally to his left and one blade diagonally with his foot behind him. A little bit of a far cry from that, but some of these like deflection battles and stuff.
Okay, not sure, but could be good. Anyway, I think that's it. That was Manny Plays. What a great summary. Some of this looks obviously crap. Some of this looks good. Interesting. Bye-bye.